So today we'll be going into Ansible-Day-3 sessions, right? So in the last previous session, right, we saw how to install Ansible and how to configure, right? That's what we saw. And in all this, in our entire course, right, we would be working everything onto the Ubuntu itself, actually, as well as our CentOS also. Okay. In one session, at the end session, I'll show you how to add a Windows server. If there is a Windows node, and how to add that Windows node, or means that how our Ansible server can communicate with the Windows, that we will see later. So that would be coming at the nth part, actually. So right now what I'm doing, right, I have chosen 3 machines actually. Okay, and all the 3 machines are Ubuntu Linux itself. Ubuntu 25 or 20.4 distribution Linux actually, right? And we saw the installation, we saw the configurations and all, right, how to do it and all, right? And also we saw that there is one important file which is nothing but etc, under etc Ansible, Ansible.cfg, right? So as soon as you install Ansible package in your Ansible server, what happened, right? You will get this file actually. So this is the default configuration file, or this is a home directory, it's Ansible's home directory. Whenever the Ansible it want to work anything, it always refers to the Ansible.cfg configuration file. Okay, so this is what we had discussed in the last session, right? If you have any doubts, please let me know so that we can we can proceed further. So in this today's session, I'm not going to show you again the installation, or you need to refer to the previous video itself. Okay, so I assume that actually you have installed it, or you have gone through the video, you have understood how to install it and how to do a communication, passwordless communication, right? Those things and all we had discussed in a very lengthy way in the last session. Correct, guys? Any doubts you have? If you don't have anything, we'll proceed further. Okay, now today it's very important topic actually, because like today we will be learning something on Ansible models and all. Before getting into models, so today's topic is that Ansible model, or you can even say that I will go through today Ansible ad hoc commands actually, ad hoc commands. Now basically, whenever you want to communicate, whenever user want to communicate, or you want to perform some task actually, right? For example, here we have an Ansible server. This we call it as a Ansible control manager, or control node, we say. And this is all nothing but your nodes actually. Node 1, node 2, and node 3, correct? So this we call as a node 1, node 2, node 3. Now we have did all the configuration because we have installed the Ansible here, right? For the Ansible to install, it needs a Python package, you know very well. So we have installed Python 3, and after we have installed the Ansible. Similarly, in all the nodes, there's a minimum requirement package to be installed is Python, right? Python 3, which we know very well. So in each and every node, Python should be installed. Correct, guys? Python should be installed. Now, whenever a user want to perform some task, actually, you say that, Rajesh, I want to install a particular software here in all the 3 nodes, or I want to execute some particular like commands, or I want to copy some files actually. Assume that you need some file actually, or else you want to copy a file from your Ansible control manager or Ansible control server to your node 1, node 2, node 3, right? So how I can do that actually? So basically what happened, right? A user actually, here what happened, right? Here what happened, a user sits here. User on the put an Ansible user, like we are the user, right? So we will be sitting here actually. A user want to perform some task here in all these 3 nodes actually. So what he can do, he can perform a task with the help of a Ansible ad hoc commands, or you can write an Ansible playbook file. So basically, these are the 2 ways. Actually, that as soon as a user executes some commands, like nothing but Ansible commands, ad hoc commands, as soon as a user gives an input to the Ansible control manager for executing some commands actually. Basically, what happened? The Ansible control manager or Ansible server will try to apply that command or execute that command in all these three nodes. It means that whenever he is executing any command or any ad hoc command, okay, he will. So the basically the Ansible control manager will try to execute the same command in all the nodes actually, right? So how a Ansible control manager will execute all the nodes? Because like here in your Ansible control manager, you are maintaining an inventory. Inventory is nothing but it's a collection of all the nodes. In the inventory, you would be maintaining all the IP addresses of all the three nodes, right? You are maintaining IP addresses or fully qualified domain of all these three nodes actually. Node to node, node one, node to node three, right? So this is like an inventory. This we call it kind of a static inventory, correct? So when you are actually executing any Ansible ad hoc command, what Ansible will do that? Ansible, it will try to look into this inventory. It understands that, okay, I need to execute this ad hoc command or Ansible ad hoc command in all these three nodes actually. Already you have established the connection. Earlier, you have already did everything. Means Ansible installations, configurations, like passwordless communication, everything you have set already. That we saw in last session, right? Now what you are doing that you want to communicate now, or you want to perform some task into all the three nodes, right? So you will be executing some Ansible ad hoc commands actually. So now what happened that as soon as you execute, as soon as the user is giving an input of executing some Ansible ad hoc command, this Ansible control node or control server will try to execute all those commands. Or else, if a user is giving an input to the Ansible control manager for executing the playbook file, what is this playbook file? We will see later. It is basically playbook file is nothing but it is a kind of a file. It is a file actually which you have written in some YAML language. Okay. So basically, whenever you write any playbook file, we'll use a YAML language to write it. So I have written a playbook file which is in YAML. If I give a YAML file as an input to the Python, to the Ansible control manager, that Ansible control manager will try to execute this YAML file into all these three nodes. It means that whatever it is written, whatever a task you want to perform, the user, if he has written a playbook file with using a YAML, using a YAML, so that YAML file or nothing but the playbook file will execute in every node. So these are the two ways where a user is actually will try to do he will try to perform some task actually. Okay, is it clear? Now, so before doing that, as I said in the last session, that Ansible always refer to your default configuration file, which is etc ansible ansible.cfg. Correct. So today, what we will do, we will see certain things about what is this configuration is all about, right? How we can have, we'll have what are the things which we have in Ansible.cfg. We'll go through it some little bit inputs on. We'll go inside about this actually and try to understand like what exactly the usage of the Ansible.cfg file. So this is the current home directory. It means that whenever the Ansible control manager or control node or Ansible server, it want to performs any task or it want to do, always it refers to this file itself. So etc Ansible and Ansible.cfg file. This is the default configuration file. Configuration file where Ansible server looks into. Okay, it always looks into this file itself. So let's try to understand what is this file all about. Okay, now, so what we will do, we'll try to log into our Ansible servers. It means that we have all these three nodes as well as Ansible control servers we have. So let me log into the AWS console. So I have logged into the Ansible control. I'm sorry. I have logged into the AWS console. So I'll get into the EC2 machine. So now here what I have did, right? Basically, I have some 4 nodes I have actually. It's already up and running. So this is nothing but the control manager which we chosen in the last session, right? And node 1, node 2, node 3 are number. These are worker nodes actually, right? So what I did, node 1, node 2, and Ansible control manager, these 3 machines are Ubuntu server, or it's a Ubuntu Linux distribution. The node 3 I have chosen CentOS. So this is a CentOS machine. It is a flavor of your Red Hat actually. Okay. So I will tell you later why I have chosen this actually, right? Right now you can consider that node 3 is done, but it is a CentOS actually. So you can just say this is the CentOS. I'll just change the name. It's a CentOS machine. And the other 3 machines are your Ubuntu Linux machine. Okay, guys. So now let me log into the Ansible control node. And you know very well in the last session what we did, right? We have chosen Ubuntu server, right? And I have created a DevOps as a user account, right? DevOps because whenever the server want to communicate each and every node, it want to communicate with some default username, right? So the default username what I have chosen is that but your DevOps actually, right? So let me log into the Ansible control server. So let me do one thing, sir. I will directly log in as a DevOps because I know the username and the password is DevOps itself. So DevOps and DevOps is user and password. See, I have logged into my Ansible server, right? So now let me log in into node 1 also. Copy the public IP. Auth. I'll be pointing to the new key, right? And then open. So here also, guys, I will directly log the DevOps itself because I know the username and the password. DevOps and DevOps here. So this is nothing but my node 1, right? And this is nothing but your Ansible control server. And you know very well in the Ansible control server, I have installed the Ansible, right? So if you check, if you execute the command Ansible-fn version, you could see that Ansible is installed, right? Whereas the same command, if you execute a node, I have not installed here actually, right? So here in the node 1, node 2, node 3 or worker node, you need not to install Ansible. Only Python is required, right? Only the Python package is required. Whereas here in the main server, Ansible should be there actually, right? Now, here when I execute the Ansible-fn version, you could see that it is showing me some information. It says that Ansible and the version of the Ansible is 2.12.6. That is a core version it says. And here it says that Ansible config file is that what it is referring to etc Ansible ansible.cfg. Okay, it means that this is the default configuration file which the Ansible will always refer to, right? So this is nothing but the home directory for Ansible, we say, correct? And afterwards, Ansible, whenever it want to do or whenever it want to perform some task, Ansible will always perform a task with the help of a modules, we say. And here, by default, all the modules here it is placed under the system/usr lib python 3 dist package Ansible here. So this is the path where all the Python modules or Ansible Python modules are placed. What are models and all we will see later, but right now you just understand that whenever the Ansible want to perform some task or it want to execute certain, it want to do some operation, it can do some operation or perform the task with the help of the models. Without the models, it is very difficult for Ansible to perform any of the tasks actually. So models are always required. It's very helpful actually. And this is the Python version which the Ansible is using, that is 3.10, and this is the Jinja templating 3.0.3. What is the Jinja templating? We will discuss after some time. Okay, it's a very interesting topic. Okay, libyaml is nothing but true. So you could see that, guys, these are some of the information where if you execute Ansible-fn version, right, it shows you. Okay, but the main important what we are concentrating now is but etc Ansible ansible.cfg. So this is the configuration file which it refers actually, right? Now what is this file is all about? Let us see what is this file. Let us do a vi on etc ansible ansible.ch. So I'm opening this file. So guys, this file is very big actually. We will not be able to discuss everything on the first day itself actually. As and when the class when it proceeds, right, you would be seeing that I'll be referring this to this file again to explain you certain many of the other things actually. Right now, here if you come down, why it is saying, let me open with the sudo pi etc/etc ansible.ch. Okay, it says that actually Ansible default. There are many parameters are there. Why it is not showing? Nothing is over here actually, but there will be many parameters over here actually. Okay, so to generate a example config file, disable one with the default settings commented out like this. So I have to execute Ansible-config init disable is equal to greater than this. So like this it says actually. Let us see. Let us execute this command actually. Let us execute this command. Okay. Let's see whether it will generate the permission denied. Okay, let me switch to the root user and then execute this command. Config also you can also now have a more complete file by including. Okay, let's see. VITC Ansible.cp file. Still it is not generated. Also you can have now more number of complete to generate an example. Basically it should show. I think what they have did right, they have removed all the content and they have told us to configure it actually. Ansible-config init -FN disable. Also you can have more complete file by including the existing plugin. Not sure why it is, why have they have disabled this actually. One second guys. Inventory. Okay. So here, what I have did, guys, they have disabled it actually. So what we have to do right here, like for example here, I let me get into etc Ansible directory. Here you have a Ansible.cfg, but Ansible.cfg doesn't have anything actually. Okay. For some reason they have disabled it. What you can do, you can execute this command actually. Ansible-config init and specify the file actually. So let me execute the command Ansible-config init and greater than specify the file name ansible.cfg. Right. So it has generated a file ansible.config. Okay. Now this is a configuration file. This is a very big configuration file. If you see it, if you just set the line numbers, go to the last line. See there are 663 lines are there. Okay. These are very important. But what we have to do, like we'll go through few of the things. Okay, as and when we required, right? So for myself, what I'll do, right? I will go through one of the variable by name inventory actually. Inventory. If you go to the inventory, you could see that actually that I'll go from the first line. I'll say inventory. Now, if you see the inventory, you could see guys that it is actually by default it is referring to etc Ansible host file. So this is the inventory file. Inventory file is nothing but it is a collection of all the nodes. So whenever the Ansible server it want to communicate with the nodes, it has to maintain an inventory. That's what I said earlier. So the default inventory is nothing but etc Ansible host file. So this is the default inventory which it always refers to actually. Now what I will do here that actually that now I think already I have let me exit out from the root user. I'm in the DevOps user now. Okay. Now if you say vi etc Ansible host file. So this is a host file. So what I have did, right? I have maintained the IP addresses of the node 1 and node 2. Node 1 and node 2. Node 1 is nothing but the private IP address. You could see that 172.31.5.238. See, that is what the IP address I have maintained here. Okay. And also the node 2. Right now, I'm not using the node 3. Later, I'll use it. But right now, you understand that I'm just using two nodes actually. 172.31.14.137. Could you see that? So these are the two IP address which I have maintained in a default, inventory file, which is etc Ansible host file. Okay, guys. Now when I execute it, now suppose like I want to execute, I want to check whether I'm able to reach to both the servers or not. So what I will do, I will execute a command Ansible. Okay. Here what happened, right? I need not to maintain the inventory here. It means that by default, what happened, Ansible will always look into this file itself, right? So now what happened that you will say that Rajesh, I don't want to explicitly say what is an inventory. Okay. So because Ansible will default look into it. Okay, fine. Now which are all the machines where you want to check whether the machine is up or not? So you have to check means you have to give the parameter all. All means you are checking what are all the IP addresses are there under etc Ansible host, right? Everything you want to check. Okay. After that, how you can check it? You say Ansible all -m. -m is nothing but module. Okay, and you will say ping. So this is a very basic, model. One of the very basic model which we use by Ansible. This is basically used to ping all the IP addresses which are there in this host actually, or which is there in the inventory. When I execute this command, we can check, guys, what has happened. It has invalid something. It has did. Okay, I'm not faced all this issue, guys. Actually, okay, what has happened? Okay, right number 33. I think I have to default set now, or else I should have took the default. Okay, hold a second. Let me correct this. So, okay, etc Ansible.ct file is there. fn default with it, right? Yeah, disabled something with it, right? Yes. Now, okay. Hold a second, guys. Let me check. So, let's go. Okay. Disabled it, but let me check now in case it is able to ping or not. Yes, actually, it's able to ping now. So, guys, there is some issue with the configuration files. Okay, what is happening over here that actually that I just initialize it, but it is not able to take it actually. So, but right now I have disabled it. So, what I'm trying to do over here is that actually I'm trying to ping to all the machines. You could see that it is trying to ping to 172.31.5.238. This is the machine. It means that this is actually not but the node 1, right? And the node 2 it is pinging. So with the help of this, you will be able to understand that your Ansible is able to ping to both these servers. You could see that you're getting the information success and success. Okay. And here you could see that it is using the model ping, and the output of the ping is in the Pong actually. So this is what one of the simple method where you are able to communicate from your Ansible control manager to the nodes actually. Okay. So this is one of the way, and this is a very simple model which we are using is not but the ping model. Okay. Now you say that Rajesh, I want to only I don't want to ping everything, Rajesh. I want to only like ping a particular IP address. Like I want to only ping to this. But whereas in a like in the etc Ansible host file, You say that Rajesh, all the IP addresses are there. You have given the parameters all. It means that it will try to ping to all these IP addresses, right? Now you said no, I don't want to check it. I want to only check this only one IP address. Then in that case, you can just mention that same IP address. Ansible space specify that IP address and then say -m ping. So it will only ping to that particular machine itself. It will not ping to all, right? So like that way, if you say all, it means that whatever the IP address which is there in this file, right, everything will be pinged actually. Okay. So now, so this is what it is. So one more time, let me open it. Actually, under etc ansible.cfg file. Yes, this is the default path, and you could see that actually it is referring to this etc ansible host file actually, right? Now the question comes actually that right. This is the generic file actually. It means that this is the default. Like etc host file is the default. Like default file actually. This is the like a global file where all the people will be referring. Suppose assume that it's like here DevOps is a user account who was logged in. Tomorrow, even there is a Mahesh user account, he'll also log in, and there is a Suresh user account, he'll also log in, right? Each and every user will log into the same Ansible control manager because even they want to do some perform an action. So they have a control. There is a user account by the Mahesh here, and there are some other nodes are there. Like for example, node 4, node 5, node 6, like this. Node 4, node 5, and node 6 actually. Okay. So here in this node 5, node 5, 4, 5, and 6, right? Here you have a Mahesh user account. Here also you have Mahesh user account. So what we are trying to tell that actually basically that from the Ansible control manager, okay, some user account Mahesh, he want to do some operation onto this node, which is nothing but the node 3, node 4, sorry, node 4, node 5, and node 6. Correct. So basically, it is not like that this Ansible control manager only one user account will be created, only he only manages everything. Not like that, right? There are many user accounts are there which will get created with that. Say in the same Ansible server, you can actually or do operation onto the different multiple different nodes, right? Based on the requirement, right? Assume that actually there are 3 user accounts are there. Like for example, you have Naresh, you have Mahesh, and you have Suresh. Some 3 user accounts are there. Now what happened, right? In the company, what happened, right? For the Naresh, there are some 100 servers are there, which are nothing but which are web servers actually, which are web servers. So Naresh want to do all the operation onto the 100 servers which are web servers. Similarly, what happened? There is some 100 servers are there, which are nothing but app servers, which are maintained by Mahesh. Similarly, there are some 50 servers are there, which are nothing but which are DB servers actually, which is maintained by Suresh actually. So Naresh want to do a lot of operation onto this, all the web server, 100 web servers. Similarly, Mahesh, these are different servers. There are totally 100 different servers which are under web servers. There are totally different 100 servers which are app servers, and there are totally different 50 servers which are DB servers. Like this way, there are a lot of servers are there. So do you think that you need to have a separate Ansible configuration management servers for each and every doing operation onto this? Not required. In only one Ansible server, right, you can actually you can actually perform all the tasks by all these 3 different users. So the only thing is that actually what is happening that Naresh account should be created here, Mahesh account should be created, Suresh account should be created in Ansible control servers. Similarly, there should be all 100 nodes where if Naresh want to communicate with this user account 100 with this 100 servers, in all these 100 servers, Naresh user account should be created. Like how we have here, right? DevOps user here I have created, here I have created DevOps user account, here I have created, and here I have created, right? So I have created some common user account where the Ansible server can communicate. Similarly, Naresh should also communicate with all these 100 servers, means he should have a common user account. So like he will give this, he will give the user account by his name only. Similarly, Mahesh will also have the same, right? So now the thing is that if all these 3 users, if they want to communicate with their own servers, which they want to work on it, it means that they will be referring to this common etc Ansible host file. So it means that actually this is like a global configuration file where all the IP addresses or the host name or fully qualified domain name are maintained. So when Naresh user account does operation onto any of these 100 files, right, it will refer into this file itself. But the point here that this etc host file, it's a global. It's not like only a Naresh 100 servers. It's not like only 100 servers entries are there. There will be an entry of even Mahesh servers also, 100 servers. There will be entry of the 50 servers of Suresh also. So it'll basically lead to a lot of conflicts between these three users actually. That's the reason what they do, right? Actually, right? Whenever a user account is getting created, what happens that basically that you need to create your own local inventory. It's not like you will not be referring to anymore with your global inventory. So what I will do that I will sudo vi etc Ansible host file. I will try to remove this IP addresses and I'll just save it. So it means that there are right now there are no IP addresses are there. If you want to check it, you can just say Ansible all hyphen list hyphen host. You saw this command in the last class, right? See, there are no hosts are there. It is an empty because basically Ansible is actually referring to this file, but right now this file is empty. Okay, fine. Now you say that Rajesh, I will create my own inventory. Okay, fine. What I will do basically, the DevOps user, what he will do, he will try to create one directory by name something like inventory directory. Okay, then get into CD into the inventory, and then what happened? He will create one file, something like my host, something. What he will give? He will give an IP address of this node 1 and node 2, right? Let me give IP address of private IP address, copy, and then just paste it and say enter, and copy this IP and paste it. So let me do one thing, sir. Let me copy this IP address in my notepad because I'll be referring always this IP address. So let me have a copy of this. Okay. So I'll save this file. Now, what happened, right? Now, suppose that he want to ping to both the machines. What I will do, I'll say Ansible -m ping all. You can do either like this, or else you can say Ansible all -m ping. Now, what Ansible will do? Ansible by default looks into the etc Ansible host file because this is the default inventory file. Correct. This is a default inventory file. So it is trying to ping, but there are no IP addresses in this host file itself. So now what happened? You are saying that Rajesh, I'm locally maintaining my inventory under the inventory directory. There's a file by name my host. So it means that now you have to tell to the Ansible that please don't refer to this path, refer to this. So to do that, what you have to do? You have to say Ansible -i inventory and the my host. Like this, you have to give the complete path. And you will say that -m ping like this. Sorry, I think that I have to do all this. Now you could see that Ansible will now try to ping to all these IP addresses. Correct, guys? Now you are not telling your Ansible to look into the default file. You are telling that you are maintaining the inventory here in this chart, right? Now, always you say that Rajesh, whenever the DevOps user his account is executing this command, always he has to refer -i. He has to always give, right? Is there any way where we can bifurcate this? Yes, we can bifurcate it. What we can do, we can say sudo vi etc ansible ansible.cfg file. Here what happened that you have an inventory. Let me don't think that. Let me remove this comma and let me. I have that I have an inventory under my home DevOps. Under that I have created one file directed by name inventory. Under that I have file by name my host. Let me check, sir. Let me check the file. Inventory. It is my host, right? Correct. My host. So sudo vi ansible.cfg file. So my host. Correct, guys. So here instead of referring to etc Ansible host, actually I'm telling that you please refer to this file actually. Now I'll save this file, right? Now I'll say Ansible. Okay, I need not to mention -i here, all -m ping. Let's see if it will ping or not. See, now it is able to ping. Even though you are maintaining the inventory over here, guys, you have told to the Ansible that don't refer to the etc Ansible host, please refer to this path. So right? If you execute Ansible -FN version, you could see that it is referring to this default configuration file. Under this default configuration file, guys, you have mentioned that your default configuration file is nothing but inventory, is nothing but where your inventory is nothing but this is the inventory. Is it clear, sir? Do you have any doubts? Do you have any doubts?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay, fine. Now, what happens that
Rajesh, can you able to hear me?
yes, I'm able to hear you. Tell me.
Yeah, here the doubt is if I am maintaining 100 servers separate, that is web
Hmm,
servers or different
hmm,
application
hmm,
servers,
hmm.
then it is particularly going to global this file,
Correct,
config file.
correct,
And
correct.
if I want to ping to all other servers, which
Hmm.
are maintaining separately at
Correct.
that time.
Correct. Yes, that's what. That's correct. That's what I'm coming to that point. Now here, what happened that DevOps user is actually is referring to this inventory file, right? His local inventory, right? But there are so many other users are the Mahesh, Suresh, right? Even when they are executing, it will refer to this file itself, right? So, but that is wrong. So hence, what happens that actually you shouldn't edit this Ansible.cfg file at all. So this is the default, right? So what you have to do that vi etc Ansible.cfg file. You have to open this file. You need to comment this. It means that it should not be this actually. It should be your let it be like this. Whatever earlier we had, right? etc Ansible host file, right? Let it be like this. Just to tell you, show you how to skip that hyphen I option using hyphen I option. I told you etc Ansible host file. Let it be like this only, guys. So what I will do that now what I will do, I'll go into the inventory file. Now what I will do, here I have a host file, my host file. I will copy the, I'll just say sudo cp etc ansible.cfg file. I will keep a copy of the configuration file in my inventory itself. That DevOps user account, he has actually maintained his own local ansible.cfg now, right? Now what is happening that you see it's so interesting. Now if I do an Ansible -FN version, your Ansible, it is actually referring to etc Ansible.cfg, correct? But now you just see if you get inside the inventory directory and say ls, now you have copied a local of Ansible into your inventory directory, right? Now if I execute Ansible -FN version, just see guys, see, it is referring to your home DevOps inventory Ansible.cfg. See, this is the beauty. You understood? Now, when I'm inside the inventory directory, now I'm executing Ansible over here. It is not referring to your etc Ansible.cfg. It is not referring here. It is actually referring to this path. Okay. So it means that Rajesh, I want to execute anything means should I keep everything in my inventory? Not required actually. What you can do here, okay. Now you say that Rajesh, I should not be in the inventory directory, okay. But what I should do that being in inventory directory, let me do one thing. Let me open that ls-l, okay. It is there as a root itself actually. What you can do, you can just change the ownership, chown DevOps, correct? You know this, right? These are all Linux commands, Ansible.cfg. So you have just changed you have to say sudo, okay? You have just changed the ownership, right? Now you have changed the ownership. Now I'll open the Ansible.cfg file. Now what I'll do, I'll go to the inventory, correct, guys? I'll go to the inventory. Okay, where is the next? Here. Here, I'll disable this, and here you know very well that I have to give like this. You know that I'll always say that /home /home DevOps inventory my host. Correct. I'll save this file. So this is a local copy, guys. DevOps user itself is keeping a local copy of Ansible under some directory path actually. So now what you have to say that actually that you have to say that actually there is one environment variable by name Ansible underscore config. What you have to say that you have to say export Ansible underscore config. Okay, there should not be any spelling mistake. Equals, you have to give the complete path. Where is it? Under slash home, DevOps. Under that, you have an inventory directory. Under that, there is an Ansible.cg file. Correct? See, you could see that you have set the variable Ansible underscore config. See, now you could see that now I am from wherever I am now. If I execute Ansible -fn version, now you could see that it is referring to this file, not to etc Ansible.cg. See, so you have to always say export Ansible underscore config. This is nothing but you are setting a variable actually. Is it clear, sir? Now, if I execute, now you could see that under etc Ansible host file, nothing is there. Correct? Nothing is there. But whereas you are under your inventory, you have a my host where you are maintaining the two IP address. Now, if I say Ansible hyphen all, correct, all hyphen m ping, it will now ping it, right? It means that now whenever a user he want to maintain his own local inventory, so always what he will do, right, he will always try to copy the host file as well as the Ansible configuration file under his path, and then he will try to do this export underscore Ansible underscore export Ansible underscore config as a variable. He will set it like this variable he will set it. But you know very well that once if you exit out from this, actually it will be unset because this is a variable actually, right? You have to, if you want to make it permanent, what you have to do is you have to say vi.bashrc. You have to open one configuration file. Here you have to go at the end, and then here you have to say export. This you have to mention Ansible underscore Ansible underscore config. Like this, you have to maintain here like this. If you want to make it permanent. Correct, guys? Because if you reboot the machine or if you log out and log in again, right, it will go off actually because that is a variable. It will be there till your shell or till your terminal is up and running, right? Inventory Ansible.cg. This you know very well, right? CFG, right? So this is what you have to set it like this in a bash RC dot bash RC. If you don't set it, you know very well that it will go off. When I exit out from that, it will be unsetted, right? Correct, guys? It will be unsettled, right? So now what happens that actually we say that there is a priority actually, guys. Actually, we say this as a priority, right? Suppose assume that if I unset it, actually, see, if I unset, what is unset? Ansible underscore config. If I unset this variable, see, unset it. If I execute Ansible -fn version, see where it is referring? It is referring to etc Ansible Ansible.cfg. Right, it is not, even though in the inventory you are having it, actually it is not referring, but if you get inside the inventory directory, here you execute the Ansible-fn version, now it will refer to its to the present working directory. Oh, under the present working directory there is Ansible.cfg there. Okay, now it refers, it understands, right? So now it will try to pick from here, not from the default one. But wherever you are, you could be in this inventory directory, or you were somewhere, you will be outside somewhere, wherever you are, everywhere it should show my user defined configuration file. Means you have to do an export. Is it clear, guys? I hope you don't have any doubts. You have to execute this command. Now you execute anywhere, it will always show you your home directory is Ansible.cfg file. Is it clear? Now you know that every user will have an Ansible local Ansible.cfg, as well as he will have its own local host file also. Correct. So here, guys, I have given the name as something like a my host. It can be anything. It's not like that you need to give the name like this. You can give ABCD, XYZ, Santosh, Rajesh, Mahesh, anything you can give actually. Correct. It is not mandatory. Automatically, what happened, right? Actually, when you execute Ansible.cfg, what happened that in the Ansible.cfg, you need to maintain what is the inventory. See, you have maintained inventory, like, see, you maintain. Suppose ABCD is there, you can mention ABCD as here, actually. Right? So it knows that, okay, under inventory, this is the path where I will get my inventory file, right? That's how Ansible works, actually. Okay, so like that, there are many things are there within this Ansible.cfg file. So now one more thing, guys, actually, Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, let me unset it actually. Unset your Ansible underscore concept. Let me unset it actually. Okay. What I will do, I will, you know very well that now, if I execute Ansible hyphen version, it refers to etc Ansible file. Okay. If I execute Ansible all hyphen m ping, means because it refers to etc Ansible host file, so it is that list is empty, right? But if you know that Rajesh, I don't want to refer to that. I want to, I want to, I want to let know the Ansible that the inventory file is there, but under the inventory there's a my host file is there, so I have to use a hyphen a option. Right? So it is able to ping, guys. Actually, how it is able to ping? Basically, it will try to do a ping to that actually, ping to all these machines actually, or it will try to do an SSH to this machine or ping to this machine actually. Okay. Now, sometime what happens actually that suppose you have added one more new server actually, right? Now assume that here what happened that I have did all those fingerprint, adding and all has been happened actually, right? That's the reason what happened that it is not showing me any information while when I ping. No, it will show sometime. It will show that whether you want to really do the ping. It means that you have to just add a fingerprint. You have to say yes, sir, right? So in that case, what happened, right? It will first time it will ask you to, it will generate the fingerprint, then it will try to ping it, right? So, but whereas sometime what happened, right? You are adding so many servers, it will be keep asking whether you want to generate the fingerprint, right? So it means that you need to disable some kind of a host checking. You need to disable it actually. How to do that? Like for example, if I want to give an example, suppose that is a host node 1, sorry. Now I'll do one thing, guys. I'll go to the SSH directory. Here, uh, authorized key is there actually. Fine. Okay, it is there. But I can able to do an SSH to the this machine, node 1 machine, or to the IP address. Let me check. I'll do an SSH to this machine. Once I go to the first machine actually, that is node 1. Let me do SSH to this machine. So you could see that you are able to log into this machine directly because it is not creating any fingerprints. Already has got created, right? It is able to do SSH actually, right? How it maintains, because under your Ansible server, okay, under .ssh directory, it is having some known host file actually. So if you have a known host file, right, it will maintain entry. So what I will do, I will just remove all these entries here. See, now I'll save this file. Let's see, guys, what I'm doing. Now I will do an SSH to that IP address, just to the node 1 IP address. Now when I do an SSH, you could see that, see, it is actually generating the fingerprint. You have seen this. Whenever you do SSH, then you have to say yes, sir, and then what happens? It continues. Now what I will do that. Now you'll see what I will do. I'll say Ansible hyphen all hyphen m ping hyphen I inventory have to make given, right? Because now just see, guys, see, it is actually generating the fingerprint. That's the reason what happened at Ansible. It is here. It is halting. Suppose assume that tomorrow you are adding some more 100 servers. You are adding, and and the Ansible server or Ansible control manager want to communicate with all the 100 servers. And when you're trying to ping it, see, it will always generate the fingerprint, right? Here manually you cannot give for 100 server yes, right? Like that. So that's the reason what happened that you need to disable the host checking key. Host checking key. How to disable the host checking key? See here, how to disable the host checking key. See, how to disable host checking key. To do that, actually, what happened, right? In your, if I go Ansible hyphen version, you could see that actually it is referring to this path actually. Okay, I'll just go to this file sudo vi etc ansible.cfg. Okay, just say host underscore. See, host key checking is nothing but true actually. So if you say host checking is true, it means that it always checks it. You have to make it false. So what you do that? You need to go here, remove this, and just say host key checking is equal to false. This is also one of the parameter or one of the like variable in your configuration file. Actually, if I execute the false like this, right? Now I'll save this file. Right now, if you say execute the same command, Ansible all hyphen m ping hyphen I. See, now it will not ask you anything. See, now the fingerprinter is not generated. It means that you have disabled it, right? Either you can do this way, or else what you have to do that actually you can just comment out this, or else what you have to do that there is one variable by name Ansible underscore host underscore key underscore checking. So what to do that? See now again if I try to ping it, now you could see that see it will generate the fingerprint. Oh, it means that it has already did once, right? It has already pinged, so it has generated internally, fingerprint, right? It has already generated a fingerprint. So, or else what I have to do that again? I will do one thing, sir. Again, I'll go to the SSH known host file. I'll remove this entries actually. I'll remove this entry. Okay, save this one. Now again, I'll do an Ansible all hyphen m ping. Now you could see that it will create. It will try to where it is referring dot ssh. Okay, strange, right? Known host file. There. Uh, not sure. It is not referring to this file, but how it is generating? Okay, I think what it is doing, right? It is not been disabled. I'll say sudo ei etc ansible ansible.cfg key host checking. Earlier it was true actually. I've changed it to true. Maybe here it is trying to. Okay. Let's see now. Ansible an M. Yeah, now it is work. So now it is asking for the fingerprint. So you don't need that actually. Either you can go with this etc Ansible and there you can do Ansible underscore host underscore key underscore checking is equal to false. You can do, or else what happen? You can use one variable. So what is that? Export Ansible underscore host underscore key underscore checking is equal to false. Like this, you can set a variable. Now, after you set it, you could see that now execute Ansible hyphen all hyphen m ping inventory. Now it will not generate any fingerprint. You got it, guys? Either you can do this way, or else you can directly go to this path and do it. Actually. Right? But that's what as I said, right? Because right, as a user, normal user, you will tend to have your own local, like Ansible.cfg file. So there, what I have to do that you have to disable over here actually. Remote key checking. Post underscore. Where is it? Here you have to disable it actually. Here you have to disable it. You have to disable it and you have to make it as a false. But you have to do few things actually, right? First I will unset it, unset the variable, right? I will unset this variable, and then what I have to do that I have to say that export Ansible underscore config, right? The default config is nothing but same thing. You have to say /home DevOps inventory Ansible.cfg, right? Either you can do this way or the other way also, right? So once you execute CFG, now you can if you execute Ansible -f version, so you know that it is referring to here to this part, right? Now if you execute that Ansible hyphen m all hyphen m ping, see, now it will ping. It will not ask you for. Anyway you can do, right? But the most preferred way, that always, it is always better that whenever you are working with the inventory, always you should have a local copy of Ansible.cfg as well as the inventory in your home directory itself. Actually, in a home directory itself you should maintain it. Actually, you should not edit the global files actually under etc ansible ansible.cfg, right? That you should not touch, or you should not refer to that file. So that is the ideal way actually. Is it fine, guys? Is it clear till here? So now you know that if the DevOps user, he is actually working on the 100 server, it means that he want to do all the changes to the 100 servers. So under his local inventory, right, he is having a my host file. Here he will maintain all those 100 server IP address, right, like this: 10 dot 10 dot 0 dot 1, 10 dot 10 dot, right, like this, right, 0 dot 2, right, like this. He will maintain 100 entries like this. Now what you will do, you will say Ansible all hyphen fn list hyphen host. See, it will refer to all these IP address what is there in this local inventory, and it will try to do the operations onto this all those 100 servers, right, like that. So that's the reason always you need to maintain the local inventory. You should not refer to the global inventory, right? So global inventory is nothing but your etc, you know that very well. I'll again write Ansible host file. So this is your global inventory, and your global configuration file is nothing but Ansible.cfg. We are not referring to this anymore now, right? We are keeping the local copy, right? Okay, guys. Now, okay. Now you could see that actually, whenever I'm executing any command, actually, right, Ansible command, I'm using this something like Ansible hyphen all. It means that I am trying to ping to all the IP address what is there in my inventory, right? Even I can give here like this also. Suppose assume that you will say that Rajesh, uh, in the inventory I have the my host file. Okay, fine. These are the two IP addresses are there. Fine. This is nothing but your node 1 and node 2 IP address. Correct, guys? Node 1, node 2 IP address. Fine. And this is the node 3 IP address, which is nothing but your CentOS actually. This is nothing but the CentOS operating system, right? Now you say that Rajesh, I'll do one thing, Rajesh. I need to create some group actually. Okay, these two machines belong to the Ubuntu group or Ubuntu servers. Let me know this. Let me create one group actually. Right now, I'm not explaining anything about the groups or like certain things. Just try to understand. This is the Ubuntu group actually, and one more group I'll create that is about CentOS group. And in under this CentOS, guys, I will try to add this third node, node 3 IP address, like private IP address. This I'll copy. So now what I will do that I will try to, if I do an Ansible hyphen all ping, sorry, hyphen m ping, Ansible will try to ping to all these three IP addresses. See, 11.194, 172.31.230. These two machines are the Ubuntu machines, and this is nothing but your CentOS machines, right? Or else you say, Rajesh, I don't want to ping everywhere. I want to only ping to a CentOS machine. So what I will say Ansible. I don't want to ping to all the IP addresses. I'll just say that because I have created a group category here under, so I have created a category by name CentOS. So there only I want to ping it. See you guys. So Ansible under the host file, it will check where is the group by name CentOS. Under the CentOS, what are the IP addresses are there? It will try to ping to that IP address. Or else Satish, you say that I want to ping only to the Ubuntu category or Ubuntu group actually. What are the Ubuntu group? So you have to just say like this. Okay? Or else you say that is both I want to ping actually. You can do like this also. Ubuntu colon CentOS. Like this. See? It will ping to all the three IP addresses. Or else I don't want to give group Rajesh. I want to ping to all. You just give all like this. Okay? It will ping to all these three. right? Clear this? So what happened that your server, it is pinging into all these three machines, node 1, node 2, node 3. You say that Rajesh, my machine should ping to itself. It should ping to itself. It is not the Ansible control node itself should ping to itself. So to ping to itself is not but localhost. It can even ping to the localhost also, right? So this is not but ping localhost. If I execute the localhost, see, it will start pinging to itself actually. It by that the Ansible control server is pinging to itself. Can I add this local under the inventory? Yes, you can add it. How to do? You have to say vi inventory. Under the inventory, you have a my host. Open that. Okay. What you can do that actually, you can create one more group, something like a local, and then you can just say local host. Like this, you can mention. Okay. Now, if I want to ping to the local, what I'll do, Ansible, I don't want to ping everywhere, sir. I want to ping to the local. You know that local host, but it is under the local group actually. I'll try to ping. Now it says that actually that it is throwing an error saying that permission denied. It means that it is trying to ping to that machine, but it is saying as a permission. It means that you need to do some kind of a exchange. You should do a passwordless communication, right? So it means that Ansible itself. Suppose assume that sir, I want to do SSH to myself. If I say SSH DevOps at the rate, if I do a local host, it is asking me for the password itself actually. So I have to give DevOps. See, I'm logging to myself only. See, here it is. You are into the Ansible server, but you are logging into yourself only, right? But while doing it actually, it shouldn't ask me for the password, right? So what I have to do? Right? So I have to say that Rajesh, again, if I do a, again it asks me for the password. Oh, I should not. That's the reason what happened that here ping is failing because it is not able to reach because it says that permission denied, public key password. With that, you need to provide a password actually. By default, what happens when you do an Ansible ping, right? It checks, it expects that actually there is some kind of a passwordless authentication is already been done, but there is no passwordless authentication done by it for itself actually. So that's the reason it is showing you the error. Now what you will do, you'll do one thing. Okay, do one thing, Rajesh. I'll say SSH hyphen copy ID. And I'll do DevOps at the rate do locally for it. You're copying the for itself yourself. First time you'll ask for the password. Give the password as DevOps. Now you have copied to yourself actually. Now if I do an SSH to localhost, see, now it will not ask you any password. See, it will directly log. Right? Now can you check whether your Ansible -m ping for the local works? See, see, now it will work. It will not throw any error. Because you are pinging to yourself. Is it clear, sir? Guys, are you clear? So you are copying to itself. It means that you need to copy your, your private, your public key to yourself actually. So to do that, you have to use SS-copy ID, which you have seen already, right? This you have did it. See, you are doing for yourself only. So there is one more category which I have maintained under my inventory host, my host, which is nothing but the local host. So you're doing an operation to yourself. So Ansible control server is doing an operation to itself, as well as you are having a different category, right? If you don't maintain everything, you say that Rajesh, I don't want this category, no problem, sir. You just remove this category. Oh, sorry, not category, group actually. See? Oh, means that no, there are no groups like that. Okay. Now, if you do a ping, not local, I cannot give no because it will fail. I have to give all no. It will ping to all the IP addresses which are there in my local inventory. Correct? See it. Usually in the industry or the company, right, we'll always create a group because group is having more advantages. You can control the servers with the help of a grouping activity. So what are groups and all we will see later actually. Okay. So right now you have understood that in the inventory, inside the inventory file, that is my host file, you have created some kind of a group like Ubuntu group, CentOS group, local group like that. You have created it, right? That's all. Okay. So now, so here what happens, guys? If I execute Ansible -all -m, Hyphen M option stands for model actually. What is a model actually? Okay, so model is nothing but it is a what happened? It is a basic, or it is a how I can say model is not, but it is a uh, it's a very basic executable code actually. It means that whenever you are Ansible, it want to do any operation or it want to do some perform a task into this, all the nodes actually, it can do the task with the help of a model actually. Okay, so model is not, but it is model is a basic executable code used by Ansible to perform certain task. Okay. Here in this case, guys, I'm using a model by name ping actually. There's a model by name ping. So by using this ping, actually, you are able to ping to all these machines which is there in your inventory, like node 1, node 2, node 3, as well as something like a local host. You're trying to ping to each and every machine with the help of a ping model. So whenever Ansible want to do any operation, it always take care of the model itself. Without the models, Ansible cannot do any operation onto the nodes. There has to be a model actually. So there are a lot of models are there actually. If you consider or if you check, there are more than 4,500 models are there. Now I think it is even crossed 5,000 also. So I'm just saying that more than 4,500 models are there. So there are a lot of models are there. Okay. So if you want to check what are all the models we have actually, right? You can say Ansible hyphen doc, okay, hyphen L list. See, okay, this is some deprecation. This one, this is some deprecation messages warnings you are getting. Okay, we will see it why we are getting this deprecation model, but you could see that, see, it has started from here. See, so there are some models or answer models are there which by which you can do some operation onto the AWS cloud also, right? So you could see that you can create an S3 bucket, you can create a cloud formation, you can create EC2 instance. So there are a lot of models are there which will be used like that, right? Come down. See, if you come down, you could see that there are some common networking models are there like this. And if you still come down, you could see that there are some models which are there, AWX actually, and there are some common models are there which are Azure. It means that by using these models, you can even communicate with the Azure cloud also. It means that whenever you want to create any resource there in the Azure cloud, you can use some of the models like this, like this. So now, if I want to check Rajesh, I want to check the ping model. I don't want everything. I want to just grab the ping model. It is showing you some. See, there is a model by name ping actually. See what it does. One line of information begin. Try to connect to the host. Verify the host whether verify the host exists or not. Like this, it will give you one line information. Basically, this is the ping model actually. So like that, there are many models out there. Like for example, if I execute copy model something. Okay, see there are copy models are there like this. There are many other models are there. Ansible, Windows, Win copy, but this is I don't want all those models. I want this particular copy model, right? So like this, or what is get underscore URL some model. See, get underscore URL is a model. So whenever the Ansible want to do any operation, guys, or it want to perform any task, so it can perform a task with the help of models. Without a models, the Ansible cannot do any operation at all. There has to be models, and all these models, guys, all the models, all the models are written in Python. Right? And you know that whenever you do Ansible.cfd here, Ansible -fn version, see what happened? Ansible -fn version. It refers to all the packages, everything, models, everything under this path. See, Ansible Python model location. See, if you go to this path, cd to this path, Ansible and ls, Can you see there are a lot of models? Under that you have one model by the models directory. See it to the models directory. See, here you have so many models. See, I'm using the copy model. See, it will refer to this copy. Whenever I'm doing a copy model, it will refer to this copy, right? Whenever you want to do some file operation, you're using a file model, it will refer to this. So basically, these are all the Python script actually. Okay. So get URL. See, copy. If you open this, this is basically completely Python script actually. See? It's a very big script actually. It's a copy model, right? See, how many lines are there? 827 lines are there. Whenever you want to do copy operation, basically use a copy model actually. So the default path actually for the all the models will be there under this path. Is it clear, guys? So that's what you need not to really go in detail about all these things. I'm just telling you that whenever your Ansible want to refer to any of the module, actually, it will always refer to this path. That's the reason if you do Ansible-F version, it will show that this is the default path where it will be referring to all those models. So your Ansible will be referring to these models. Okay. So see, writing our own model and all. Suppose like you said, Rajesh, there are default models are there, 4,500 or 5,000 models are there. I don't want to use those. I want to create my own model, right? And it means that basically you have to write your own model. Means you need to know about the Python scripting. You should know about the architecture, about how to integrate your own user-defined model into the Ansible, so that the Ansible can refer to even your model also. So that I will not say that it is completely out of scope from our topic. We will try to cover at the very nth moment actually how to write my own model, okay, some model, and make use of that model with my Ansible actually, with the Ansible actually. That we will see very at the nth at the last class we will see these things actually. But actually, to be very frank, actually, if you are working completely on Ansible, actually, learning about the models or writing your own model and all, it is out of scope actually. Usually, DevOps people doesn't write any models. But in some companies are there where they're extensively working on Ansible, and they have set of DevOps engineers now who are working extensively Ansible. So in that case, what happened that they'll be told to write some models actually. So those engineers, DevOps engineers, will be very good in Python language. Is it clear, guys? Okay. So now, so let's do one thing, guys. Let's. I will take for some more times because, like, I just want to, show you some of the models actually, because tomorrow again we will be, continuing the model itself. So models are nothing but this is nothing but I'm using something like a ad hoc command actually. So it means that when I execute Ansible all -m ping, right? Basically, you are using an ad hoc command that you are trying to execute something in a command line itself. We have not yet started writing any playbook file. I'm just playing everything in a command line. So whatever you do in a command line by using some models, we call that as an ad hoc command. Okay. Now let me uh, try to understand about some models actually, few more models. So I'll do one thing, guys. I will go to the inventory. I will go to the my host file. I will remove this third and fourth entry. Okay, I'll just maintain this two. Remember, this is the node 1 and node 2. So these are the two IP addresses which I am maintaining actually. This file. So now what I will do, that there is a model by name raw model, Ansible raw model, or Ansible command model. So now what we are trying to understand, we are trying to understand few models actually. One among the few models are nothing but there's a model by name command, and also there's a model by name raw. So what is this difference? What is the difference between command and raw? I will tell you now. Okay. Now, for example, whenever a user wants to execute some commands, it means that you say that Rajesh, these are three nodes are there. I want to check how long these three machines are up and running. So to check that, actually, what you do, you execute some uptime command here, right? If you execute uptime command, it will show that how long this system is up and running, or how long this machine is up and running. Similarly, you said, Rajesh, I want to check what is the RAM size or what is the free memory size. We execute a command by name free-m command. So these are some of the commands which you execute in these nodes actually to check what is the uptime of the machine, what is the free time. Similarly, you want to check the CPU usage or CPU, you want to check which is the, so there are a lot of commands are there, right? You will be executing all those commands. Now you say that, Rajesh, by sitting in the Ansible control server, I want to check the uptime of all these three machines, or all these two machines, or two nodes, or three nodes, whatever. I want to check it. So you say that, Rajesh, you can use a Ansible command module you can use to check it. How to do that? Just see here what I'm doing. Ansible all -m. The model earlier I used to do ping, right? Ping will ping it, ping all the IP address which is there in the inventory. But I'm not using ping now. Instead of ping, ping is one model. There's one more model by name command. Command. What are the arguments you want to pass to the command? You have to use -e option, okay, and you have to say uptime. When execute, see both these machines, the uptime is the machine is up and running from last 14 hours. Even this machine also, the from last 14 hours, the system is up and running. See, I have executed this command uptime on both the servers, actually, on both node 1 and node 2. Like this, I've executed. Now you say that Rajesh, I want to check what is the free memory or the RAM memory. Same thing, you have to use a free command with the command with the free -m command. You have to use like this. Okay. See, it is showing you that what is the RAM memory available. Total is 967. What is used? How much is free? Right? What is available? See, it shows you everything. Here you can go here also. This is the node 1. Here also I can execute a command free -m. See, I'm getting the same output here. The same stuff I'm achieving with the help of an Ansible, with the help of a command module, okay? And -a is argument. And what is the command you want to execute in both the nodes, in all the nodes which are there in the inventory, and executing free -. Suppose you say that Rajesh, in this both these nodes, node 1 and node 2, I want to create a ABC file, /ABC file, something like here. If you execute cd dot slash and say enter and say ls, is there any file by name ABC? There is no file by name ABC, but I want to create ABC. How to do that? Same command, sir. Here, what you have to do? Instead of doing this, you have to use a touch command. Correct? Touch /ABC. So what it says? Permission denied. Why it is showing permission denied, guys? Basically, you are trying to create a file in the slash itself, actually. So to overcome that, you can add a sudo command here, sudo touch /ABC. Now it should work. See, it has created a file. How to check that? Actually, come over here and then say cd slash and say ls. Now you could see that ABC file has been created. So you can check in a node itself, or else you want to check here only. You know very well that I can even use the ls command also, right? Ls. After creating ls, and if I just say slash and say enter, see, it is displaying everything, ls output. See, ABC is there. Under this server, ABC is also here. Here also, the ABC is there. Correct? Now you want to remove, you know very well now, Rajesh, I want to use the same command. Instead of touch command, I will use a rm command, right? rm-f. See? You are removing that ABC file. Now, if you go to the server and do cd slash and the ls, see, now there's no ABC data. Correct? So this is nothing but you are doing some basic operation, executing any command with the help of a command model. With the help of a command model. Now you say that Rajesh, okay, command, it means that whatever I execute the command, so I can execute the command with the help of a command. It means that whatever you are executing the command over here. Suppose you say that Rajesh, this is a Ubuntu machine. I want to install some Apache server actually. Okay. So what you do, you say sudo apt install apt get install, and you just say Apache 2 like this and -y. If you execute this command, Apache package will get installed because this is a Ubuntu machine, right? Your node 1 is a Ubuntu. Node 2 is also Ubuntu, but whereas node 3 is a CentOS actually, right? So here I want to execute. Can I achieve the same operation by using Ansible command module? Yes, you can do that. Same thing. Sudo apt get install Apache 2 -y. Guys, how to verify whether the Apache is installed or not over here in this node 1 or node 2? What you have to do, you have to say /var www. See, there is no www directory. It means that Apache is not installed. So in this way also you can verify whether Apache is installed or not. If the Apache is installed, you will get a directory by name /var www.html. Like this, you will get /var /ww/html. Like this, a directory will be there. If this directory is not there, it means that actually the Apache is not installed. Now let's execute this command. Ansible all -m command -a sudo apt get install Apache 2-y. Let's see, guys. So what it will do, it will try to install the package of Apache in both these nodes. Node 1 and node 2, both in both the servers, it will try to execute or it will try to install the package. See here, see, it is installing. See, it is installing. It has installed it. See how you verify it. See? I'm not able to scroll up, but if you come down here and if you see that in this server, okay, it has changed. See, it has installed the package. See, it has installed the package. Now, how to verify it? Go over here, say cd/var www. See, now you could see that. See, the package is there. See, if the package is installed, by default you will get this path. Correct? So in this way, what you're trying to do, you are trying to install the package with the help of a command module. Okay, there is a separate module by name apt itself. By using the apt module itself, we can directly install any package in the Ubuntu machine. But I'm just using a command module, very simple, where whatever the user is executing in the command line, he can achieve with the help of a command module. Right? Now, for example, if I say Ansible all -m command -a, suppose you say that Rajesh, I want to execute the date command or uptime command. Okay. What else you need? Semicolon date command, semicolon who command in all those three nodes actually. So can I achieve with the help of a command? Let's see. See, it says that actually it is not able to execute more than one command. So command module will not be able to execute more than one command base actually. So for do that for executing all the commands, right? You have to use, instead of command module, you have to use a raw module. A raw module will execute all the it will execute more than one command at LRAW raw module. See? Now it will execute. See, you could see that uptime command is executed, date command is executed, and who command is executed. Similarly here also, right? So raw command is used to execute more than one command at a time into servers. Command module will always execute only one command at a time. It cannot execute more than one command. So that is the difference between raw and command module. That's what you have to say in the interview. If they ask you what is a raw and a command, that is a command can execute only one command at a time. It cannot execute more than one command. Whereas a raw module, it can execute more than one command at a time. Is it clear, guys? Okay. Is it fine, guys? Okay. So now, so we just started with a command module as a raw module. There are many other modules are there. Like for example, you have a copy module, you have a fetch module, you have a m underscore repository module, m model. Okay, and you have an apt module like this, right? You have a file module. There are many models are there, guys. So what we'll go through in even in tomorrow's session also, we will go through understanding few more models actually, right? For example, fetch model, right? For example, m model, m repository model, apt model, file model, okay, service model, like this. There are many models are there. We will go through all these models, okay, because we should be good enough to learn how those models can be used in a command line actually. It means that in a single command line, how those models can be used. Because if you have a good understanding about in the command line or but ad hoc command, then it is very easy for you to understand about the playbook file. Whenever you want to write the playbook file, it is but the usage of the same ad hoc command, whatever you're using the ad hoc command, right? Same thing you will be writing into the playbook file also. That's how we need to always understand first about the Ansible ad hoc commands or the but in a command line, how you can achieve everything in a just in a line in a command line itself. You can do it with the help of a like ad hoc commands we say actually. Okay, that's all guys actually. Okay, so I thought like I will continue for next one more model I thought, but we will do it tomorrow actually, because we will start the tomorrow's class from the copy model, fetch model, yum repository, yum command, apt, file service. These are very, very important models. So this we will cover it tomorrow actually. Okay, so once we cover it tomorrow, okay, maybe hopefully that we will be the first half, first 45 minutes will be covering this, and afterwards what happened in tomorrow's session, we will be understanding about like what is a YAML, okay, and how to no, what are the basic syntax of YAML. So you need to understand how to write a YAML and what are the syntax of the YAML. Okay, what are the different types of variables where we use within a YAML, and then like we will be getting into learning about how to write a simple playbook file tomorrow. We will not write a very like we'll just write a very simple or a very small playbook file. So tomorrow we'll write and we'll try to execute those playbook file. So from after the models, right, like ad hoc models, right, we have to quickly get into the playbook file, because the playbook are the one which is nothing but organized file where you will get a lot of different tasks which will be maintaining within a playbook file. So you need to understand like how to write a playbook file. So it is always better that whenever I want to write a playbook file, I can write in a like in a text file, but it is better that we use some kind of a like editors like Visual Studio Code. So we can use a Visual Studio Code to write the playbook files actually. Okay, because using any of the editors, right, if you use to write the playbook file, it will be very helpful. You will be able to easily understand. You'll be able to easily like manage many things with the help of a Visual Studio Code. So that's what we will see, that whatever the code which I'll start writing for the Ansible playbook file, right, I'll be using the Visual Studio Code itself. VSC, Visual Studio Code editor, I'll be using it. Okay, in my next session, from my next session. Okay, so that's all, guys. If you have any doubts, let me know. If you don't have any doubts, we'll wind up the session. So tomorrow we will continue with the copy model. Okay. Hmm?
Yes, Rajesh, correct.
Okay. Chalo, guys. Chalo. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody can stop the recording. Okay. I think it's not stopped. Okay. I'll just close it. Okay. Chalo, guys. Bye.
Yeah, bye.